my culture, I'm standing while talking to my elders. We're not allowed to talk while standing when we're in front of the elders. We're supposed to kneel. Okay, yes. So I don't know how you want it to be. Should I kneel in front of my elder or should I stand?
Stand.
Stand.
Can you just show us how you do it, but don't... Yeah.
No problem. This is how you talk. When an elderly person is talking to you, like that. You just nod your head to say you're understanding what they're saying. Okay.
Okay.
We don't maintain eye contact. It's like I'm challenging an elderly person. I'm supposed to look face down like this, like I said. In our culture, we understand your culture very well. It's a sign that someone is concentrating. That's how you tell if someone is telling the truth. Okay? But for us, it's like a challenging an elderly person, one-on-one. Like you can't tell me anything. What you're talking about is nonsense. But when you're facing down, it shows respect. Okay? Addressing your names, like the way we call you, Susan, Nancy, Lazy. I'm not supposed to call you all those names. I'm supposed to call you Auntie. Yes, Auntie. Any elderly person has to be called Auntie. Okay?
What do you consider elderly?
Okay, so if you don't know their names, you address them as Auntie, just Auntie. Okay, but do you have a child?
Yes.
What's the name of the firstborn child?
Darren.
Darren. Vanna Darren. Adding a B-A-N-A at the beginning with the name of the first child. So that's how people would address you in your home. Vanna Darren. Okay? Joe, your daughter is Darren. Son?
Son. Mark.
Mark. I'm supposed to call you Vashi Mark. B-A-S-H-I. Vashi Mark. So everybody in your family will call you Vashi Mark because you have a child.
And it always goes by the oldest child that you have?
Yes, mostly.
Okay.
Because that's the firstborn. You're always addressed by his name or her name. Okay. So, folks, when we grow up, a girl child and a boy child. For a girl child, we spend most of our times with our mothers. It's a rare case that you find a girl spending time with a father. If my father calls me today saying, Cassie, I want to talk to you, it's a serious problem. Then I have done something big that he has to tell me. I'm supposed to be with my mother in the kitchen, cooking, doing all the house chores. That's how a girl grows up. My mother would teach me respect towards elders. My mother would tell me how to take care of visitors when they come in the house, how to take care of the home when she's not around. I'm supposed to learn all those things. Okay, she'll teach me how to make peanuts. Today, my aunties will teach me how to make peanuts, since I'm the youngest. Okay, so applies to the boys. The boys spend the time with their fathers. Okay, trying to learn what the father does. The father goes to fetch firewood. The son has to follow behind. Okay? You never see the son cooking in the kitchen or chatting with the mother most of the time. No, that's not our culture. Culture doesn't allow it. Okay. And then when a girl reaches the age of 12, and when a boy reaches the age of 12, we undergo an isolation period. Okay? What I mean by isolation, we go away from home. So I'll give you two types of isolation, a town isolation and a village. Okay, in a village isolation, a girl will be kept in a house for 3 months. Okay, 3 months without coming outside. So you'll be enclosed in that house, and there'll be elderly people, 2 or 3, teaching you certain things, how a girl should take care of herself, because she's reached puberty. So they'll teach me lots of things. Okay. What happens is, before I go into that isolation period, I'll give you an example. I'll be walking, going to fetch firewood or fetch water at the well. So I'll see two elderly people coming my way, okay? And then they'll just get me. They'll like, one will grab the other hand, and then they'll take me in that house. But by that time, I have to be aware to say, this thing is going to happen because I've grown, I've reached puberty. Elderly people know to say, this girl has grown, she's matured now. Okay, so they'll take me in that house. My auntie or any elderly person in the village will stay with me. Okay, I shouldn't run away. So they'll be teaching me how to take care of myself, body-wise. Parents don't do that. As I reach puberty, it's a duty of my aunties, the elderly people, to tell me how to take care of myself. Okay, why don't parents do all these things? Because we believe to say it's a way of how we're going to get the real information, there's a way we communicate with our parents. Like, we don't really listen to what our parents say at times as a girl child, as a boy child, you know. So my mother will be telling me something and I won't get it because she's my mom. I'll take advantage of her saying she's joking. So if someone who's different tells me something, it will make sense to me because she's not my mom. Okay? So, she'll tell me how to take care of a home, how to run away from boys, how to stay away from boys. Okay? They'll teach me, they'll introduce this fabric to me. Actually, that's the first thing they do. They'll introduce this chitenge, we call it chitenge in Zambia. Okay? So they'll introduce this fabric to me, saying, our daughter, you've now grown. This fabric, put it on her every time when they're elderly people, even when you're home. Okay? They'll teach me how to put on this fabric in that isolation period. They'll tell me to say, stay away from boys. Boys have snakes between their legs. Once you go there, he's going to bite you and you will die. Okay? So, even as we communicate with the boys, okay, we'll be just looking at them saying, no, there's something wrong there. I'll just talk to them and run away. And then we'll grow up like that. Same applies to the boys. The boys will also be the born isolation period and they reach puberty. They'll be taught all these things, how to fish, how to take care of your home, in case the father is not. Men are providers in our family. So even as we grow, as they grow, they know to say they are providers. A woman takes care of your home. So even if we reach puberty, we're in that isolation period, we are taught to say a woman is the one who takes care of the home. You need to cook, wash, iron, do all the housework. A man has to go out there and work and bring food on the table. Okay, so the boys will be taught to say girls have a big hole between their legs. Once you go there, you fall in it and then you never come back. Okay, so even as the boys will move around, they know to say there's something wrong with the girls. Okay, so folks, when we reach and that's true. Okay, so even as we move around, we walk around everywhere, we are late to say that our elderly people taught us all these things. Okay, there are lots of things that are taught in the isolation period, especially for the girls. Okay, but I won't talk in detail. Those are the summarized ones. Okay, and then I'll talk about dating, how we date in our culture. Folks, we don't expose our relationship. So before that, I was supposed to talk about the isolation period in a town setup. No one reminded me.
All right.
Okay, So in a town setup, my mom will look for someone she's comfortable with, like an auntie or a church mate, her best friend. So every time I close school, because in a town setup, people go to school. Most of the people go to school. Most of the children go to school. So when we close school, I'll be going to her place. Okay. Every time on holidays, I'm going to live with her. So when I go to stay with her, that's my auntie, she'll introduce this fabric again to me. She'll say, my friend, put on this fabric in my house. Okay? Every time you're around, put on this fabric. She'll teach me how to cook. She'll teach me how to portray myself in public, how to respect elders, same things that I've been taught in that isolation period in a village with her. But the only difference is it's only a month. You close school. That's when you go after when the holidays. Okay. And then my auntie will tell me time limit. By 5 or 4, you should be home. Okay. The way people live in a village is different with the way people live in a town setup. Children become more stubborn in town. Like you tell them come home at 5 or 4. Someone will come at 10 in the evening or midnight. Okay, so my aunt will tell me, I've grown, I've reached puberty. Okay, so she would tell me, by 4 you'll be home. You need to cook. She'll give me all those duties that a woman, that a girl should do. Okay, she'll tell me all those things. When you're serving your uncle not around, you have to kneel. Okay, because in our culture, folks, it's a rule to kneel. Even to married women, they have to kneel in front of their husbands when they're taking food or even a cup of coffee or tea. Okay, I'm not supposed to give you water just like that. Okay, I'm supposed to kneel. Any elderly person. Okay, so she tell me, whenever you're around your uncle, put on this fabric in this house. Okay, so I'll carry this fabric wherever I go. Okay. You know how girls are. Maybe when I go out, I'll remove it. I'll remain with maybe jeans. Okay? But when I come to her place, I need to put on this fabric on the gate. Because those are rules. It's different with the way I live with my parents. Maybe in my parents' house, my mother tells me to put on this fabric, then I don't. I ignore. Because it's my father's house, it's my mother's house. I can do anything. But it will be a different thing when I go back to my parents' place. They'll see a change in me. To say that woman is doing a great job. She's teaching her child good manners. Okay, that's why we go under all those isolation periods, so that we should learn the other side of life. Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you if you were right in the middle of saying
No problem.
In the village, if you have the oldest or the wisest auntie, okay, that teaches these young girls, in this isolation period, it seems as though you may have the same person teaching multiple girls.
Most of the time, yes.
Okay.
Most of the time, yes. There could be 3 or 4, yes, but we do have an elderly person specifically.
And so then they would be getting, the girls would be getting the same message.
Yes.
A consistent message as to how to be, instead of having each of the parents
Yes.
who can be giving them all different kinds of messages
Yes.
as the proper behavior.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay. Any other questions? Am I too fast?
No.
No.
Any other questions? No questions. Okay. So folks, that's why we undergo that isolation period, like I said. So I'm going to talk about how we date how we get engaged, sorry. So in our culture, we don't expose relationships. We hide. I don't know if that's how you do it. Do you hide your relationships?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. But for us, it's a must. Sorry, it's a Jacobberry. Yeah. So, when I find a boyfriend, I'm not supposed to tell my auntie, I'm not supposed to tell my mom or my parents, okay? I'm supposed to hide till he proposes to me that he wants to marry me. Why do we do that? that it turns out by relationships don't work out. My parents wouldn't be happy if I date 10 men, 20 men at a time. I always introduce them, we break up. I introduce this one, we break up, okay? So why we hide is because we don't want problems. My mom would be like, you are the one who's a problem. Why are you breaking up with these guys? Okay? So instead we hide behind a termite mound. Okay, where nobody can see us. Okay? So if my boyfriend decides to marry me, he won't put a diamond ring on my finger. Okay? He'll just say, I want to marry you. He won't kneel down. I want to meet your family. Tell them we're coming with my family for the engagement. Okay? So we'll set up a day. He's going to tell his people, and then I'm going to tell my people. I won't go direct to my mom, my parents saying, there's a guy I've been seeing who wants to marry me. I'll go to my auntie. Okay? So I'll tell my auntie, and my auntie will tell the fellow sisters. Not, my mom won't be included. So his fellow sisters will gather and make up a day that those people will come for the engagement process. Okay, so my boyfriend will also tell his uncle. For instance, my uncle knows my family to say we are bad people. Maybe I've dated 20 boyfriends and everything. He won't make a go ahead. Or maybe my family are called wizards, witchcrafts and everything. Or maybe they had a family dispute way back. He won't make a go ahead. Okay? He'll say, no, my son, you're not going to marry her. The reason is because of this and this. And then he has to obey what the uncle tells him. Because he is an elderly person, he wants the best for him. So he has to, whatever that he says, he has to agree. That's how our culture works. Same applies to me. If my auntie is not happy with that family, that family has issues, she won't make it go ahead. She'll say, no, you can't marry that family. Okay. For example, you decide to run away. You know how love is. You want to run away. You would run away quite alright, but when you come back, it will be a problem again. You won't be accepted back in the village. Okay? They'll be like, you're no longer part of us. It's like they'll put a curse on you, all of you, both of you. That's how it is. So it's not possible to run away. Because that's what everybody knows in our culture. You can't run away from home. Okay? So, when the final day comes, those people will come to my family, my boyfriend's family will come to my family. By that time, my aunties will have been set up on the table, maybe under a big tree like this one. These two plates, okay, on the table, all covered up like that. Okay, only these two plates. So those people on that day, they'll come. And I'll be all dressed up, together with my cousins and sisters. Okay, so when they all sit down, my auntie will call me, okay, with my fellow sisters on that day. And then we'll kneel in front of elders like that, facing down. And then my aunties will ask my boyfriend a question saying, which girl did you identify in our family? Which flower did you pick? And then he has to identify me. What if we're putting on the same things all of us, with the same complexion? Okay? If he picks up another person, then that's a person that is comfortable, not me. Okay? But it rarely happens. But that's how it would be if it was like that. But definitely it's going to pick me saying she's the one. And then my auntie will ask me a question again saying, is he the one? Look at him. I'll look at him once. And then I'll nod my head facing down saying, yes, he's the one, 3 times. Okay. And then my auntie would tell us to take a leave. So we're going to leave and they'll remain discussing as a family. So this is my engagement day. It's not my dowry day of payment. It's the engagement. So that family, his uncle would put maybe $20. It could be any amount, even $5. So he will put like that, and then cover the plates. And they'll start agreeing, talking, saying that my boyfriend's family will be like, we want you to reserve your daughter for our son. Please keep her safe for us. Let her be safe hands in you. Okay? The day of the will come after maybe 5 months of paying dowry when you are ready. So this is just engagement. There's no ring on my finger. I won't be moving with a ring on my finger, but my auntie will enjoy this $20 in here, saying our daughter is engaged. Okay. So, any questions? No questions. I love questions. Okay? Everything is clear. So this is engagement, folks.
So
Okay, I'm
wait,
engaged.
the $20 goes to your auntie?
Yes.
Okay.
So my aunties will be giving me guidelines now. I'm in their hands. They have to monitor me everywhere I go. Okay? Everything I do, every step I make, they have to monitor me. Because they enjoy that $20. My engagement. My aunties will take charge till they come to pay the dowry. So dowry is another process, but it's the same gathering, uncles and aunties. But by that time, my aunties would have asked my parents how much I'm worth. If my mother, my parents say she's worth $300 or $200, then that's the fine. Okay? So the same gathering will come up again. Those people, before they put any money, my aunties could have known to say her parents told us this amount. Okay? Those people won't be told immediately to say she's worth 200. It's like they're selling me out. Okay? So those people will just be putting money in there. But if they don't have that $200 on that day, dowry can be paid in terms of cows or land, even goats. Okay, so they'll be like, how much is the dowry? My aunties will be like, okay, $200. Dowry is not a punishment. Okay, you can pay at any time, as long as it's an agreed period of time.
But it can be paid after you're married, or do you have to have it all before you get married?
Before you get married, during that process, during that discussion, you can pay half or just quarter, just a bit. You can even pay $50.
Right.
And then the other one you can pay half. Like maybe you can pay another $50 after 6 months, $50 after 1 year. Just depends. Yes, yes. Well, for dowry, no. You have to pay something
Right.
before you get someone's daughter.
Okay.
Just a bit of something.
But do you have to pay the whole thing?
No,
No.
pay after.
Yeah.
You can pay after the
You
whole
can pay
thing.
after, but just a bit. You can pay, but it's a must. You have to pay just a bit of it,
Right.
just like even half of it,
Right.
and then the rest you can pay after.
So, but Cassie, what happens if they don't pay after?
Well, do you want to answer that question, Leslie? What if they don't pay after the dowry?
Well, it's something that never happens, because you see when it gets because when I get married, I'm marrying for the whole family, so everybody is involved. So either my parents will help me or my uncles will help me with the dowry. And because of things like witchcraft in an African society, you cannot afford to play around with stuff like that. Because for all you know, maybe your daughter or your son may be having problems growing up. And if you're a cultural family, of which most families are, you go to a traditional healer and they tell you the reason why this child is getting so sick all the time is because you did not finish paying up your in-laws. Okay? So things like that. You know, a lot of superstition that if you don't do this, this will happen to you. One way or the other, you have to pay up.
Got it.
You answered?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So after the dowry payment, arrangements can be done about the traditional wedding possibly. Okay, so in a village setup, we just make a small gathering and maybe next fabric. You see a husband putting on a shirt and a trousers made of this fabric, and then the wife putting on a dress like this one, longer than this one. Okay. So moving on. Any questions?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to talk about the uses of this fabric. Folks, this fabric is mostly used in Zambia. In Zimbabwe, they call it Zambia. Because most of the Zambians use this fabric. So it's found everywhere. It's cheap and affordable. Okay? Most of small businesses have this business. So they'll see tailors making dresses, different types of fancy tops and for ladies and gents. Okay, so this fabric box has several uses, which I'm going to demonstrate with my fellow aunties. This fabric can be used as a curtain for bachelors who are just starting at home. So what you do is you just make something like this and make loops and then tie it on the door. Okay? It can be used as a bed sheet. Like this time is summertime and hot, I can cover myself up with this fabric. Okay? It can be used as an apron when you're cooking. All you do is make it tied like this, and then you won't be messed when you're cooking. Or you can make a simple apron using this fabric. Okay. The other uses, it can be used as a baby nappy liner. So what you do, not everybody can afford to buy baby nappy liners in a village setup. So what you do, just make small square, like rectangle or square pieces, and then put it on the nappy, and the baby will be feeling so comfortable. Okay. And the other uses can be used as cushion pillow covers. You can make bags, you can make tablecloth, several uses. Okay, you use it to carry babies, and then I'm going to demonstrate how we put it on a round with my fellow aunties. Do we all have fabrics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll just ask you to stand so that I demonstrate how we do it.
When you say fabric, Cassie, you mean any piece of fabric, right? Not this specific design, just a piece of fabric.
Just a piece of fabric.
Okay.
Yes. So this fabric, folks, you can also make a doormat. So what you do, you just wrap it around, like little pieces, and get a sack and start sewing it like that. Okay? Makes a beautiful one. Okay, so I just invite you. I will give it to you. Okay, so I'll start with making the headgear.
Oh, the headgear.
Okay. You're supposed to join?
So,
Yeah, right.
Can I?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
You are.
a square, sorry. You fold it into half. You fold it in half. Okay, and then make a simple something like a triangle like that.
I have too much fabric.
You should do.
Oh!
I was going to make a whole big captain out of it.
Oh my.
Oh,
got a bigger
that's
piece.
for me.
There you go.
Okay, maybe something like this.
It's going to be a little heavy.
Not really, just a simple one, like a triangle. Okay? Simple. Yeah. And then you put it like this on top of the head. And then you tie a knot.
Okay, now wait a minute. Which part goes on top of your head?
Okay.
The long part.
The long part. And then you
Let me see, let me see.
Oh, thank you. I can tell
So
you
you tie a knot behind. Okay.
I think my fabric needs to be washed.
Anyhow.
those little cloths maybe the guys can wear.
I have a safety pin. Anybody wants it?
You look good. You got it yourself.
You're welcome.
Smile, everybody.
Those beautiful women.
Got it?
Yeah, I think so too.
Running taps. So we need to balance that 20-liter container of water on top of our head. So we're going to make a cushion. So what you do, make it a tool, like a 2-yard like this. You make it like a rope. And then make it round. So use this finger to make it round. Okay? Like that. And then you tuck it in. Okay?
How big do that again?
Use this finger. Make it round and round.
I like your fabric.
Make a knot around your finger.
Then twist it at the same time. Tuck it in.
Larry, over your finger like this. Not around your finger.
So on top, like
Yes.
this. Okay, and then where do you put it? Just inside.
That's perfect because
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
So women walking like that.
Oh, yes.
Balance it. You know, like that. Okay.
Good job.
African woman.
Can I tickle you? Good job. Beautiful. Are the ladies supposed to do that too?
Oh yeah. That'll give us an empty bowl.
Anybody? So okay, I'll get this bucket.
Give us glass plates.
Balance the right.
Glass plates we need.
They'll give us the small
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Look at that. Oh, how nice. Beautiful. Well, halfway done.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Oh, that looks nice. Look at that poise. There goes mine too. Some white.
One, two, three.
Good job. Oh, and a bow too. Wow. I missed that. She did a good job, Valerie. Okay.
You want to try it out?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Try it. Okay, good.
And the winner is.
And back. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, sorry. I thought that was the last one.
Too many apples.
Let me see. I cheated though, because I looked at them and then I figured out what I had to do. I redid mine. Oh, look at that. Awesome.
How we carry babies.
No, this is how to carry a baby.
Imagine this is a head. So what you do, put the baby behind, okay? Spread the legs of the baby so that the baby balances. And then with this 2 yards, put it behind.
He wants to be your baby.
Okay. So on the right hand side, like that, the left down. So
Ah.
Don't you do that sometimes on the side as well, with the baby on the side?
yes, we do when the baby cries, once you breastfeed. So once you feed, so that's how you do it.
See, that's convenient.
African babies don't fall. So very safe. So you can
Yeah.
move around, do all your house chores, sweep, wash, put your husband like that. With the baby behind.
For how long?
It could be even 2 years, up to 2 years. Okay. Yes. So at 3 months, babies are carried like this up to 2 years. Okay. So when the baby cries, you just put the baby aside and then breastfeed.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Holding it in that, my daughter-in-law had somebody make her one like this, and she carried her daughter on the side all the time.
Wow.
So those are getting pretty popular.
Yeah, those are
in the
popular in the
States.
States now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, to carry them like that.
Great. Okay. This fabric around. So what you do, the 2 yards. So this is put on in a different way. So a single lady like me, there's a way I'll put it on around. With a married woman in a different way. So do you have any single ladies?
Yes. She's single now.
Currently single.
Okay. For the single ladies, you put on this fabric below the belly button.
Oh.
So you see a bunch of single ladies walking like that.
Uh-huh.
So you see them swinging their hips like that.
So same.
Yes, sing them. I didn't see you sing them. You know, you're single. You need to sing.
Come on, Gloria. You have to say.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Swing for
Sexy.
Sing for us. And then for the married one, above the belly button. Like that. Please, you are taken. The way you walk matters, you know?
Yes, we do know that.
No so same?
It's the same thing anywhere in the world.
Yes. Married women pull on the fabric like this. And this is how they walk. Decently.
No swing.
Representable.
No bounce? No bounce in the step?
No. So even people around, elderly people, even young, like other teenagers, the boys were able to see this woman is married. She's not single. Everybody will tell with the way you talk and the way you walk as a woman. Okay. So that's it for me, folks.
Oh, that was great, Cassie. Thank you.
So I'll let you take your seat.
We're going to take a
Oh, good picture.
Yeah, with your
The question is, when do you find out whether the snake is not going to kill you?
And then get married.
Does somebody
Somebody tell you, or is it just experience?
Experience. You know, when a girl reaches puberty, you get to experience a lot of things. So you get to know.
Okay.
Yes. But as a child, yeah. So for the boys also, they put on this fabric after circumcision at 12 years old. Can I give you an example how they do it?
Yes, please.
Any volunteer?
Nick is going to be the volunteer.
Okay, I'll use this fabric. Okay, so this is how they put it on. Grab this quick. Can you spread your legs?
Put a diaper.
Okay.
Like a big diaper.
Yes.
I think it would be better if you put it on, Blessing.
So after
Awesome.
circumcision, it's very comfortable to walk, you know, like that. It's very, you don't put it around anywhere, but just inside the house.
Oh.
Around the yard.
Okay.
So you've just been circumcised.
Yeah.
She's got 2 pieces of fabric, so
Oh, that's nice. And it doesn't fall off?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So we're switching on.
You want
They're really good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Moving on.
Excellent.
I have this interesting snack. Okay. We call them peanuts, but for us we call them ground nuts. Okay. So this is how you harvest them. It's like a plant. Okay. And then you have to pull it. So when you pull, it comes out fresh, and then we detach it from the tree, and then it's boiled or cooked as fresh as it is. At times it's dry. So when it dries up, this is the stage. Okay. So I'll let you pass it over. You can get one more and experience the African way of peeling groundnuts. So when you peel, this is the stage that comes out. Okay?
that's what we call raw peanuts.
These are raw. Yes. Okay. So what I did with the raw peanuts, I roasted them. And after roasting them, this is the stage. Okay? The way I roasted them, what I did, I just put them in a saucepan, started like frying, roasting them, added salt and a bit of water just to mix it up. Okay, so that's the stage. Do they taste like peanuts?
Tell me one more time where you roasted them at? In your oven?
In the pan, like a saucepan. Yeah, so when they become a bit brownish, you add salt and water. Mix it together.
So these are all.
A little bit?
Yes,
Just to
what
keep
you
them
do,
from
you can just
burning?
get water and put salt in a cup of water, just a bit of water, and then add the peanuts, the ground nuts.
Is that so they don't burn? So they don't burn when you're roasting them?
Not really, so that the salt can be mixed up in a good way, like it
Oh,
can just-
around the peanut?
Yes.
It absorbs
yes,
it?
yes, it absorbs it. So what I did, after that stage, I peeled them. After the roasting, I removed the skin outside. Okay?
These are what they're all? Oh, the same.
And how did you remove the skin?
Are you finished with this, Dawn? Yeah. Not quite? I'm supposed to do that.
So folks,
These are the roasted ones.
these ground nuts can be stored in big sacks and stored in a warehouse just to sustain the family throughout the year.
It's good.
So what they do, they can peel them in advance and then store them in big sacks and put them in a warehouse at this stage or this stage. Okay, any questions?
Good. This is the best stage.
Also be cold. So what I did from this
Roasted.
stage, I boiled them. So that Thank you.
Which ones are these now?
These ones, but
Oh,
they've just been
peeled.
removed the skin. Now, the ones coming are my favorite, the boiled ones.
Are peanuts plentiful? Are there many?
Yes, they are. So what happens from this stage, what we do We pound them in a mortar, okay? And then we sieve the powder, and that powder can be added in vegetables, meats, or porridge. Corn porridge.
Very good.
Yes. So we mix it up together. It's very good for babies.
That's with the skin on it.
Yes.
Oh, these are the boiled ones. Is that the one that she's pounding?
No, the roasted
So
The
it's
roasted
these
one.
ones that she's now boiled. These ones, these ones.
No, the raw
At the
ones.
hospital, I tell you, make corn and add walnuts, the powder, so the baby will grow very healthy. Okay. So we're going to make peanuts using this page, the peeled off ones. I'm going to let you experience how we do it stage by stage.
Okay.
Yes. you can check.
Cassie, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You give peanuts to children,
Yes.
to babies.
Yes.
Do you have an issue with peanut allergies in your country?
No, we don't.
I've heard that food allergies come because people don't eat.
We don't. So folks, I'll let you experience the stage by stage how it starts. I don't know when it's going to start. In our culture, men don't do this, but for today, just for the sake of experience, I'll let you pound.
As a special favor.
So Robert is the first one. You need to pound harder. The energy process is faster.
2 hands or 1 hand?
You can use 2 or 1, but for 1 is okay because you hold the water on the other side.
You do what? Turn it this way?
Yeah, see? Do a muscle. We have a machine that does that.
So the more energy produced, the faster.
Remember what I said?
Come on, Robert, put some work into it.
I did.
You're making your peanut butter
Oh, that's
tomorrow
good,
morning.
Robert. Take your picture. Take his picture. He's a little card now.
For how long?
All right, somebody else?
And tomorrow?
How long will it take? It takes about 10-15 minutes. It depends if the energy produced. when
Wow.
pounding, yes.
You get next one.
Oh.
These are good.
Come on, you hog. Come on, that's good. Come on. Give me a chance.
Hold on to that thing. To make it easier, you can clamp it with your feet.
If African women saw men fighting to do this,
Turning into something.
I like my next flying.
they're asking him to do it extra fine, not crunchy.
How am I doing?
Wow. Excellent.
They're gonna say you're hired.
Now, can you do this with boiled peanuts or just
No,
roasted?
just roasted.
Next, somebody else?
So
Ladies,
the
any lady?
Cassie, what do you do with the boiled peanuts? You just eat them like that?
You just eat them like that. Yes.
Cassie, I didn't hear how you do the boiled peanuts. You take it from raw,
Okay.
and then you boil them in water and
Yes,
salt.
you can boil them as raw from
with the shell.
yes, you can boil them.
Just easier
But for you to boil them,
You need to go from
okay, so you can boil them like this.
Yes.
And then you can boil these when they're fresh, not dry like this. So when they're in the shell, you boil them when they're fresh. And then when they're dry, you boil them at this stage.
Okay.
And peel off.
So, and they come out like that.
Yes.
Even if you boil them in the shell.
Yes, but it takes a bit of time for them to boil when they're dry and shelled like this.
Okay, it's better to boil them when they're.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. It looks, it really gets mushy quickly. That's pretty good. I like that.
Any other?
Volunteer? No. Oh, wow, that's the way. Thank you.
Now she says, tells us. Says he doesn't even put a lot of effort. He knows how to do it.
You want to try it out? No, I just want to see. You can come and see.
Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Smart baby.
And look at how she turns it. Perfect. Peanut butter.
So the more you roast it, the more darker.
Okay.
If you roast it a little bit, it becomes this lightish color.
Like goldish color. Okay, because I noticed that the peanut butter that was there this morning was darker in color and a little drier. It seemed
Yeah.
the golden color.
Well, it says he's going to make a good husband.
This will stay in the family.
At least good peanut butter.
For a long time. Who originally makes that?
If he gets married, he's not doing this.
Anything associated with cooking then.
Oh my gosh.
I like crunchy. Chunky peanut butter.
Wow. Good job. Make sure your wife doesn't see you doing this.
You want to test
Your future
that?
wife.
The homemade.
Harvesting.
Yeah, but we mean it.
Aren't those were formed husbands for the nieces? It's kind of big.
The peanuts are
25
delicious.
and then you're not married, they'll find a husband for you. So whenever there's a problem at home, there are always elderly people around to guide you and to help you out, work it out. So for someone to get married, to divorce, it takes a very long time.
Okay.
Yes.
I just know about it because I
It's not really common in Zambia.
Hey, look this way, my darling. Okay, nice.
Looks wonderful.
It's a pounding.
Nice and warm, yeah. Good job,
Oh,
you guys.
yeah.
Nice and warm.
Okay. So let's see.
Oh, very good.
Very nice.
Got a good chunk.
Now we know there are no preservatives.
All right.
Any second round?
Very good.
Okay, folks.
I'm going to use the other side.
I invite Blessing to update you on what's going to happen now. For more questions, we're inviting you at the Boma first from the board schools, then you ask me more questions at the Boma. Enjoy the break. Okay,
Thank you. Awesome. Good job, Cassie.
Thank you.
Awesome.